You know, the United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend in his own time. You must answer. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Alrighty then, if you can't handle the truth, you need to turn the channel. Welcome everybody. It's been 2 whole weeks, so welcome back. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Welcome back to the Ron Kelly Show featuring the lovely and talented Princess Love Mills. And she's not just eye candy now, she's very talented. So welcome back, Princess. How are you?
I'm well, Ron. How are you?
All kinds of things. Everything is going wrong right now. I'll get to it though. My mouse got caught by a cat or something. But okay, all right. You know what? I took the top off and now it's working. So okay, maybe that was it. All right, everybody. I'm glad you had a good vacation. I guess it was kind of a vacation, Princess. We didn't have to go on the air last week, so I'm hoping everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I certainly did. And you know, the funny thing about Thanksgiving, Princess, is when we had a great show lined up for you guys, by the way. The funny thing about Thanksgiving is when the mom passes away, it kind of just kills everything. You know, and it's just not the same. You know, I've talked to a lot of people, and I've heard a lot of people say that, you know, it's not the same as when Mama was around. You know, yeah. So anyway.
My heart goes out to those who were missing their loved ones this last Thanksgiving, because so many people made a transition in this past year that you were not expecting to earn their wings. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom is no longer here. And the Thanksgivings are just not the same without her. I mean, you try to enjoy it, try to, you know, have to stiff upper lip and all, and you try to enjoy it, but it's just not the same.
Well, I would suggest, you know, we have another holiday coming up. Do it for her. Behave the way you would behave as if she were here, and see what that does to your spirit and your energy. Okay. And invite her to be with you.
So have a seance?
No.
Oh. Oh, okay. I mean,
yeah. She's always close by, but she can only commune with you if you invite her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got some pretty bad news this week. My motorcycle has gone on to the great beyond, because Miss Ida flooded out the place where I used to keep it, and you know, there was 3, 4, 5 feet of water in there. So I finally got the word today that game over. So I just have to maybe, you know, take a look at maybe buying another one, or maybe not buying another. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm even going to go back and try to buy another bike. But yeah.
How often did you take it out?
You know what? Well, I didn't take it out that often when I had it. See, because the problem is that because I live in an apartment and I didn't have any place to keep it. Because I didn't want it to be outside and the rain hitting it and all, you know. That was my boo. So, what I did was I put it in a storage space, you know, where you can ride in and ride out and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I mean, I never would have known, but unfortunately, the storage place got flooded out. So, but it was insured. I'm getting paid for it and all. So it's like, everybody get insurance now. Don't mess around. I had flood insurance on it. So, you know, they said we're not going to fix it. We'll just give you what it was worth when it was running. So I'm like, okay, fine. All right, everybody, we got a great show lined up for you. Enough of my nonsense. We got a great show lined up for you guys today. And I'm going to, you know, and I'm going to turn the show over to Princess because, you know, she has some things that you guys may be interested in. I'm pretty sure you'd be interested in. And so we're going to get to that in just a few minutes with everybody. But, you know, I was watching, I was talking to you earlier about this. I was watching Vice, and you know, and it was just so weird that the steps, the desperation to have that booty that you can bounce or whatever, the desperation to have the twerking booty and the breasts and all of this stuff, and the desperation. I mean, where the women, and not to kick the women's backs in, but where the women, they actually comments, where the women actually risk their lives with these people who, you know, some of the people who were performing these operations didn't even have a, you know, didn't even have a home health aid certificate, and they were given, and they were inject. I mean, it was just so unbelievable, you know. So I mean, I don't know if you can identify with that, Princess, or if you have any friends who remain nameless who are going through that. But
it is a very sad thing. I don't have any friends that have gone underground, because that's what that is. That's underground, and you're putting your life at risk. I have had some friends to travel to Dominican Republic. Actually a few, or even, and what they did was the Brazilian butt lift. So basically, that's a fat transfer.
Right.
But it really goes back to the lives that we see, it's to social media. You know, our women of color, typically in the past didn't have to worry about the booty. We kind of naturally had enough, but something has changed, and now everyone wants the booty, and what they want in it is really not what's considered normal. But there's a population of men and women that fetishize these butts, and people would go at any cost to get them. And it also reflects the lack of truth and love for themselves, if they feel like this is what they need to feel good about themselves.
Yeah, and the other thing about that too is that the white women, you know, it seems like they have a little more butt than what they used to have. And I don't know if they're going to get the BBL or whatever, but the white women have developed over the years, because there's the white women, everybody, you know, the white women, Asians, you know, like the black women had the corner of the market on the booty. And now the white women are walking around here with these kadunks.
Yeah.
So,
well, there's a percentage of, as you say, white women who get butt lifts as well. However, there is another movement. You can get a personal trainer. You know, it's all about this body that is moldable and shapeable. You can create the body that you want if you're willing to put in the work, put in the time. You can build those muscles. You know, you can accentuate things.
Yeah, but we live in the microwave world now, you know, 2021, where, you know, that's just going to take too long. And
actually, it doesn't take too long.
I need this booty in 2 months. Yeah. You know, I ain't waiting. You know, I need this booty now. And so
why do you think they want it so fast, Ron?
You know, I mean, I'm not a psychiatrist or a therapist, but, you know, I think that some of it has to do with self-esteem.
Okay.
You know,
I got a question. You ready?
No, I'm not going to get a booty, but go ahead.
do booties turn your head? I mean, are you
absolutely
okay? So you kind of support this movement, right?
I don't support. I don't.
You might not support it, but you.
No, I don't. No, I don't. You know, I don't.
Okay, what did Lamont say? That's due to processed foods.
Due to processed food.
What is he talking about? The extra booty?
He's extra booty. Ronald McCready says I'm here. All right, thank you, brother. Thank you, appreciate you. Lamont Gates says it's due to processed food.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not. I'm in support of you know, women getting butt jobs and boob jobs. I don't support that at all. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not really real. That's the first thing. You see, and guys, we're stuck with whatever we got. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but you guys are getting the same things. You're getting butt jobs. You're getting calves enhanced. You're getting pecs enhanced. It's not one-sided anymore. Keep it real, okay?
Yeah, but I can't. Oh no, I can't even. You know, everybody. It's 9 minutes past the hour. Everybody, it's the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, theronkellyshow.com, YouTube, Facebook. And speaking of YouTube, I'm going to go to a break in a second because this thing is giving me fits. Speaking of YouTube, everybody, go to YouTube. And when you go to YouTube, we appreciate you going to YouTube to watch the show. But when you go on YouTube, go on there and subscribe. That's very important. Subscribe to the Ron Kelly Show. So everybody who featuring Princess Love Mills. So everybody who Suzanne Newman says mine is not due to processed food. Oh, okay.
That's right, baby. Natural.
You go, girl. You go. Go to YouTube and definitely subscribe to the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills. We would be so appreciative if you did. All right, everybody, 10 minutes past the hour. We're starting something here. Suzanne Newman says hers is not due to processed food. Okay.
Right.
All right, I hear you, girl.
Some of it's genetics. The challenge is what happens is when hormones get out of balance, the body loses that optimum shape. So then you might have to put in a little bit of work to shed the extra fluff so that the real curves can be revealed, because they're underneath it all. Most people have really well-shaped bodies if they don't have storage that they're carrying around.
Well, Ronald McCready says some women are born with little booties. And
yes, this is true. And some men are as well.
We don't need no boot. Well, I've heard women say, "Well, I need something to hold on to." I'm like, okay. All right.
You know what? A healthy, firm butt looks good on a man or a woman. It doesn't matter. So it's a symbol of fitness. And fitness to us today is very sexy. So men need to make sure they're in the butt game too.
Okay, as long as he ain't got no kadookadoo. He got kadookadoo, that's a problem, right? Something's wrong with a man having a kadookadoo? Yeah, I think so.
Some men have bigger butts. It is what it is. You gotta love who you love and love what they got.
Get a butt reduction. Ronald McCready says some women, this booty thing is taking off. Ronald McCready says some women are born with little booties and want a little more. Suzanne Newman says genetics and lots of lifting. So that's the growth factor in people of color and non-color that are developing these butts. Wow, unbelievable. Interesting. 12 minutes past the hour. The Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills is brought to you by Amaker and Porterfield Transportation since 1980. 41 years, Amaker and Porterfield has been providing clean, safe, reliable transportation to and from your destination. Schools, churches, you name it, medical, you name it, they can do it. Just give them a call. It's 908-753-6423. That's 908-753-6423. Amaker and Porterfield Transportation is a proud sponsor of the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills. Ronald McCready said, Ronald. When I go to break, I'm going to try to find some more batteries for this stupid thing here. Ronald McCready, and I'll put it up on the second, my brother. Ronald McCready says, I'm a little booty man, no butt at all. Oh boy. So women say, oh, you're married though. So,
But guess what? That's only one part of the body. There's so many other parts to appreciate.
Yeah, that's true. Because I like a woman with nice feet. Nice feet are very important.
Hands, face,
feet, especially your feet. Now, don't
good arms.
Feet, the ashy heels. No, we're not having that. But feet. But see, it's just that the butt of a woman's butt is usually the focus. Gets a man's attention more than anything.
It's a symbol of fitness, but it's a symbol of fertility. At some point, men unconsciously looked at the hips and knew, okay, those hips can bear my children.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Ronald McCready, I'm a little booty man, but no butt at all. No butt. Okay, well, brother.
So he's
saying that he's a little booty man.
Okay.
That he has no butt. I'm assuming, but he's married, so you have to work.
Okay.
You had that little booty when you got married, so if your wife likes it, you should be good. Lamont Gates says, not sure if men. I don't know, Lamont, if you were able to finish that. I don't know if you were able to finish that statement, but not sure if men. I'm not sure what you're saying, but if it did get cut off, just put it back up there. All right, everybody, it's 15 minutes past the hour, and we haven't even gotten to our first subject yet because the booties. You see our audience is booties. booty accentuated or whatever you want to call it. Me personally, I don't want the enhanced booty or the breast assist. I like, whatever you got, stay with what you got, because it says a lot about you as a woman. If you are able to just use what you got to get what you want, in other words. So I'm not the booty, I've been to strip clubs and stuff like that, and I've seen like these gigantical booties. And you can know, and because see, the thing about the enhanced booties, you can tell, because most of the women, they don't have no control once they lay down on that table. They don't have no control on how much the person puts into their butt.
Well, that's why it's important to go to professionals. I'm not for or against it. If a woman wants to enhance her body, if it's really going to help her feel better about herself for a season or whatever, let her do it. But I just want them to do it safely.
Right. Well, see, but that's the other thing too, because down in Miami, people are not going to Dominican Republic anymore. They're going to Miami, because Miami is like the booty enhancement capital of the world right now. I mean, when I was watching the show yesterday, and they were saying like $27 a week for the booty lift. $27 a week. That's pretty cheap. Like,
now, so that's the lift though. Then that's not the crazy, scary injections, right?
No, these are. But even the doctors, and I know it was expose and it was probably a little hyped up, but the doctors were running in and out of operating rooms, because all doctors are not good now. It's bad in everything. Police, judges, lawyers, doctors, and the doctors were running in and out of operating rooms in some of those places. And these are places in strip malls. It's not like there's a hospital nearby in case something goes bad. And the doctors were running in and out of operating rooms while the surgical technicians, who are not doctors, were, I guess, sewing people up after it was done. And I was like, oh my God, awful. So, yeah. Yeah. So but like I said, me personally, just have whatever you got. I'm not the big gigantic booty type. I'm like, I like.
Okay, that's enough of booty. Let's move on.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on from the booties. And no, I'm not going to ask Princess about her. But okay, before we move on, Lamont Gates, I'm not sure if men are thinking of bearing children and looking at Not thinking it. Not sure if men are thinking about bearing children.
No, not today, but back in the day, years ago, that was just a natural, primitive, unconscious thought of the human species. Structure lets you know basically what someone can bear generally. So that's all that was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, he's definitely 100% right about that. All right, everybody, we'll take a quick break. We'll come right back with more of the show. It's the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills. And it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, we're there. We'll be back in a second with more of the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go.
George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
Yes, it is.
But before we move on, back to Lamont. Yes, they may not be thinking immediately of bearing children when they're looking at one, but they sure are thinking about practicing creating one. Okay. So
I have to agree with Lamont Gates. The men, when they're looking at the booty, you're thinking about
practicing, if not actually creating. So it's still all the same.
Depositing one in, you're thinking about depositing one in there. It's funny thing. I was trying to change these batteries, and it went to the break I was supposed to be playing, not the one that was on. All right, everybody's 20 minutes past the hour. It's the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show .com. So let's get into this. Let's get into the love languages. Now this, and I'm not. I got to rely on. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I have to rely on Princess Love because my love language is let's go. So, so, so it's 20 minutes past the hour. My love language is not the same as Princess's. So, Princess, you talk to us about.
Yeah. So I'm guessing you didn't take that assessment.
What is that?
I put a link on our page because
Oh yeah, I did. I saw that. Yeah.
yeah, so you can go there and take a quick assessment, and it'll kind of tell you what your love language is. It's the 5 Love Language, and it's by Gary Chapman. He's a really great author, and he writes lots of books about relationships. So the love language is for, of course, intimate relationships, but it's for children, for your teenagers, for work partners, just kind of figuring out how you receive love best. We often hear that you should do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But
Okay.
my language may be different than yours. So you may be loving me the way you feel like it's good for me, and it's not. So if you take the time to study your partner and find out how they receive love best or would like to receive it, then actually you're going to get farther in that relationship and have a closer bond and connection with them. Basically, he said there are 5 different love languages, and they're in no particular order, but one is physical touch. You might know those people. They're really touchy feely. If they can't touch and connect with you, they feel some kind of way. They may not feel loved. The picture I posted with the embrace on the page says, if physical touch is your partner's primary love language, then they will feel unloved without physical contact. All of the words and the gifts in the world won't change that. They want to feel you close by, not just emotionally, but physically. You can also probably think about people who experience life through their bodies, like dancers or people who have to use their bodies or learn better through movement. Those are probably going to be some of the physical people who have that love language. Now, the love language of receiving gifts is controversial because we immediately think, okay, this person is just into material things. She's a gold digger. He's just after money or whatever. But it's really not that if you take the time to look within, because there's something behind it. In the book, he tells a story of these 2 daughters, and their parents travel a lot. So when the parents come back, they do bring them gifts and, things of that nature. One daughter wants to sit down and just talk, and, spend time with her parents, ask lots of questions, right? But then the other one says, well, they interviewed the second one and says, how do you know that your parents love you? So she took them into a room and they showed them all of these gifts that she had received over time. And it was special to her. And it wasn't about how much it cost. It was about that made her feel that they were thinking of her when they weren't in their presence, and the thought that went into to get those gifts. So this love language isn't necessarily materialistic. It just means that a meaningful or thoughtful gift makes your partner feel loved and appreciated. Sometimes as simple as picking up a pint of their favorite ice cream after a long week at work can make a huge impact for gifts. So acts of service. This love language expresses itself by doing things that your spouse would like: cooking a meal, doing the laundry, picking up a prescription. Those are all acts of service. They require some thought, some time, and effort. So people who need that, and you do that for them, that really gets them. And then whatever language you want to receive love in, then they're ready to reciprocate that. The other one is quality time. Kind of goes with physical touch. You can't really have physical touch if you don't have quality time. This love language is all about undivided attention. Put the smartphone down. No television, no distractions. Sometimes that's too intense for some other people, but some people do need that. If this is your partner's primary language, they don't just want to be included during a period of time. They want to be the center of your attention. And it doesn't have to be all the time, but you've got to give them this designated time at some point. They want you to look at them and talk to them only. They want you to focus.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about like what you're saying, what you're saying, Princess, would be like nothing's normal these days. We've learned how to be. We've learned how to be in these crazy relationships where crazy is normal now. See, now what you're talking about is in a relationship with two people who understand each other, that have their heads together, they know where they're going, they know what they want. But, but nowadays people are just nuts. I mean, abuse is accepted, and cursing each other out is accepted. And
I don't agree.
you know what I mean?
I don't agree. That's not everyone's life. That's some people's life.
No, not everybody,
Yeah.
but for a lot of people.
You're always going to have people who show up in relationships like that across time. It exists. But today we have to be smarter, right? When you go to buy something, don't you do your research? Don't you look into it? Okay. You don't just go and buy the first car, the first house that you see. You've got to do some research. And the most important things in our lives really are relationships. So we need to wake up and stop jumping in and investing all into a relationship, and you don't even know that person. You don't even know how to love them or receive love from them.
Yeah, because a lot of us, it's learned behavior. It's not necessarily the person's crazy, but it's learned behavior. If you grow up in a situation, if you grow up, Lamont Gates says, very good normative, Ms. Mills. Can you see that?
Oh, no, I made it small. Okay.
Very informative. Okay.
Okay. And then there was one more and you stopped me.
Okay.
I'm going to give you. And then the last one is number 5, words of affirmation. This love language expresses love with words. They build your partner up. Verbal compliments don't have to be complicated. The shortest, simplest phrases can be the most effective. So then that person, when you give them those words, the words of affirmation, then they want to give you whatever you want. So if you learn your mate's love language, you're going to get a whole much more love in return, provided that they also learn yours. So we are here for relationships. One of the most important ones is that intimate relationship, because I believe we grow inside that relationship more than any other. And everything that happens or doesn't happen in that relationship, we take it to other relationships. We take it to the workplace. We do it with our family and our children. So if we can get this model relationship of mutual respect and love and understanding, everything else will be good as well.
All righty then. Nikki Totten says, men I've come across lately consider love to be, I guess, and she goes on to say, you telling them what they want to hear rather than what they need to hear.
Well, that's not love, though. That's not what love is.
Right.
Yeah. And you know what? We need to be re-educated on love. I think there are a lot of people that use the word, and I'm not sure they really know what it means. If they've really even experienced it, just to be honest, years ago, and I'm a little bit older, so I come from a time when there were something called courting rules. And when older men took young men aside and say, you don't do this, you can't do this, but you better do this, you better do that, be a gentleman, be a lady. There's not so much of that anymore. Unfortunately, very young people are raising children, and there's some pieces that are missing as far as cultural and respect and manners. And that's where the mess is coming in, because you can't give somebody something you've never learned or you never had.
Yeah, I think that, again, there are a lot of folks running around out here, and not to kick anybody's back in, but there's a lot of people running around who are just not ready to be in a relationship, because you have to clean that closet out. You got to get rid of those demons, the anger, the frustration, whatever it was that happened prior to the new relationship. You got to get rid of all that stuff, because it just clogs up the drain as far as like you getting to know somebody else, opening up again, because it's hard to open up after you've been damaged or after you've been hurt. It's hard to trust somebody else, especially for the women.
Right. But think about the young people that are getting into relationships. So they may not have that history of pain or bad experiences just yet, but they also haven't been taught how to be honest and be vulnerable. They don't really know how to connect, because unfortunately, because of this, their social life, their social skills are not really what they could be as far as communicating with someone on that level.
Yeah, because like I like to talk about, like when I was younger and my very first girlfriend, I didn't know anything about pain or disappointment or anything like that. So, the very first time I was in love, it was like being in Disney World, because you're experiencing all these feelings and You know, it's like, wow.
That never changes no matter how old you are. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but yeah, you go to sleep. I went to sleep thinking about it. I woke up thinking about it. You know, I would get up and shoot by her house so I can walk to, so we could walk to school together. And she's a little bit taller than me, you know, believe it or not. So I used to have my arm like up here. You know, I mean, I sprouted up like once I graduated from grammar school. But yeah, she was taller than me. Donna Lewis, never forget it. Donna Lewis. I don't know, not sure what happened to her. But Donna Lewis, but not necessarily her, but at that time, you're fearless as far as love goes. As far as, you know, you don't think about what if she does this or what if she does. You don't. Yeah, I never thought about that when I was young. You know, the first time I was, you know, I'm all 100% in. I'm taking a bullet for you the whole nine. You know, but again, as you grow up and you get hurt and you go through stuff, divorce, whatever, and all of that kind of changes. Everybody, it's 31. It's 30.
That does change a lot, but it doesn't have to end a lot. It depends on how you live your life. You know, you can try again. Don't stop. Don't give up. We're all entitled to and deserve loving relationships. So if you have a bad one and decide that you're not going to have another one, you're going to let that person make that choice for the rest of your life. That's pretty
Some
sad.
people do, yeah.
Yeah.
People do.
And it's because they don't believe they have options, but what they really don't believe is that they're worthy. When you believe that you're worthy, you will find a way to put yourself in alignment to try again, to have something different, to have something new.
Yeah, but some people, you know, again, it's hard for some. For some folks, it's hard. Let me see who says what. Lamont Gates says, "That's how Janet Jackson made me feel in '93."
He was in love with Janet, huh? A lot of people are in love with
we
Janet.
all were, even when she was on
Good
on
times.
Good Times. Yeah, I mean, she was a little girl. I mean, it was not like that. But,
Yeah.
you know. Okay. All right, everybody. We'll take another break. It's 32 minutes past the hour. We'll take a quick break. Come right back with more of this program. And Lamont Gates. It's the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills. It's a Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills. And it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show.com, and all across the social media spectrum. Back in a second. All righty, everybody. This portion of the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills is brought to you by our friends at Amaker and Porterfield Transportation. Since 1980, Amaker and Porterfield Transportation has provided safe, reliable transportation for all your transportation needs, schools, churches, medical, you name it, they can do it. Give them a call at give them a call somewhere. 908-753-6423. That's 908-753-6423 for safe, reliable transportation. It's Amaker and Porterfield. You can email them. Also, by the way, you can email them. You can call them at that number, or you can email them at amaker.porterfield@verizon.net. That's amaker.porterfield@verizon.net. All right, everybody, the Cowboys and the Saints tonight, and I will be dashing out of here. I'm not even turning the computer off. I'm going straight out the door. Make sure to put my shoes on first. And never get dressed while you're getting ready for the show. Because anyway. Because you never know, the camera might be on.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right, everybody. We're back. It's 26 minutes before the hour of 8 o'clock. And you are listening to myself and Princess Love Mills on the new and improved Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills, and we're all over the social media spectrum. Don't forget, when you go to YouTube, we got a lot of, there's 5,000 and some likes, followers, 5,000 followers, more than 5,000 followers on Facebook, which is really incredible. I want to thank everybody for liking and following the Ron Kelly Show now, which you're not done yet. You are not done yet. You have to go to, when you go to YouTube to watch the program, which many of you have done, and I appreciate that. When you go to YouTube, you can subscribe to the program. Just click the subscription button. It doesn't cost anything. And we would really, really appreciate it. I got a couple promotions coming up soon. I will fill you guys in on the promotions that we are going to have coming up. Because we got to give y'all something for watching and listening and partaking in the program. So it's only right that we do a little promotional gigs here on the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills. Now, in the you guys have been, and thanks for the 800 or 700 or something people who watched my little crazy video. I'm shocked. That so many people watched it, and you can watch the replay of the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills on the Facebook page. Every show that we record goes onto that Facebook page. Every show we record also goes onto YouTube. So definitely you can go to the Ron Kelly Show. It doesn't say featuring Princess Love Mills yet, but I'm working on that. Got to bring the tech people in. And you can definitely take a look. If you've missed this one day, you can definitely, you can check out. You can go back and catch a show that was on a month ago or 2 months ago. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes, everybody. Please do go to YouTube and subscribe to our program. Okay, everybody. It's 23 minutes before the hour. The Princess posted on the Facebook page a very interesting article, Princess, that I saw that you had posted. And I was like, yeah, damn right.
Which one was that?
That was the one about the evil women. The toxic fathers versus toxic mothers.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. And if I had it my way, I was ready to get a vasectomy after this last baby because the baby mama was just insane. And it's always been about the fathers. They're not doing what they're supposed to do, and they're not handling their business. But if somebody's not cooperating with you, Princess, it's hard to set a standard. It's hard to show love and all of that stuff when there's somebody who's always interfering.
Yeah. Because
of and the babies always wind up suffering because the mother is incensed because, like in my case, I didn't want to marry my son's mother. Mm-hmm. He's 20 now. I didn't want to marry her. And once I said I didn't want to marry her, the roof caved in. Mm-hmm. That's when everything started happening. And and the women, and I've said that in the past, that the women use the government as a tool to hurt a man.
Well, Ron, I don't know if I agree with that.
Not all.
No, because some women need help with men being enforced to do their part.
Yeah, there are some.
We don't want to belittle that because there's some women that really.
No, there are some.
But let me ask you something, Ron. Before the roof caved in, even before the baby came, what was she like?
She was. Well, the only thing that she was great.
Yeah,
she was great. I mean, but
see, I don't think people just all of a sudden turn evil. I think whatever is in us is in us. Yes, there are certain things that bring it out of us, but it doesn't have to be something that catastrophic to make us act evil, because if it's in you, it's coming out all the time. If someone has a poor attitude, I can't imagine that she hid that attitude the entire time. Or were you just more focused on something else and you didn't pay attention? That's
Well,
the
no,
question.
no, she was fine. Like I've said many times, you never know a person until you make them mad. Once they get mad, and you're like, "Who the heck is this?" Because now they're mad.
Okay.
You know what I
So
mean?
what's your new practice going forward? When you meet a woman, are you going to do a trial run and make her mad before you get too far in?
That's not a bad idea.
Well, you probably should. You do need to see people in different environments and situations before you get really involved, because those are the situations that tell you about them, that you need to know ahead of time before you create a family or begin to share yourself with them in that kind of way.
Yeah, because prior to that, she was fine. She was great. But when I said I didn't want to get married, we getting married? No. And that's because the problem was that she was too close to her. And not that there's anything wrong with you being too close to your mom. I wouldn't even say too close, but just undecided. Everything had to go through the mother, and my complaint was, I want to marry you and not your mother. So, you can't be running to your mother every time we have a disagreement or every time we need to make a major decision, because it's me and you, not me, you, and your mother, like Three's Company. So that was the only thing that I saw with her. But other than that, I didn't see any problem.
So generally when people decide that they want to get married, you didn't have enough fights with her. Yes, Lamont, you're supposed to have some fights. Fights are healthy. But what I'm thinking is, when people decide they want to get married today, thank God, and it should have been before, there's some type of counseling, right? So the counseling can redefine what relationships can be if people don't know what those are. So the fact that you felt she was too close to her mom would have come out in a way with a counselor to maybe re-educate her how that role would probably change if she's going to marry you, or anyone for that matter. So I guess that never came up.
No. Before I go any further, there is a message. There is a.
That's a bad to test a person on purpose.
Yeah, Nikki Cotton says, yeah, because a lot of the women are mad already anyway.
No, what I say though is I'd like to go to a restaurant with someone, to a place that that the service may not be that great, and see how that other person reacts to the waiter. If they maintain their composure and they're nice and polite, even under the midst of not getting good service, then that's a good sign, because we shouldn't allow people outside of us to dictate our moods or how we're going to show up. And so don't have that control there. We're definitely not going to have the control later with someone that we think that, that we have that space with.
Yeah, but I agree with you that there are guys out here who are just like slime balls who just don't want to do the right thing. I agree.
You do a lot of name calling.
Well, I didn't use any foul language.
No, you didn't.
Okay, no, we don't use that kind of language here on the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills. And then there are guys who just don't want to handle their business, don't want to do the right thing. Yeah, I understand that, but there are guys, and I've interviewed guys who've gone through hell and back, because the mothers are angry with them and they use the system to try to punish the man. Ronald McCready says mothers can't always butter the toast. Okay, all right. Yeah, and so there are men who have gone through the mills, so to speak, because the women have treated them like crap because they didn't want to do what they want them to do. So, it goes both ways. But I mean, if you're a man out there and you're not handling your business and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and you wind up getting clicked, they slap the handcuffs on you because you wasn't paying your child support, then, because I've gone through it and I paid it and because I didn't want to go to jail. So, I mean, but I paid it. But you see, I didn't want some man in a robe who has no idea what the heck is going on with me, telling me what I should be doing for my kid. And I think that's a complaint with most men, not just black men, but men, period. Because if I'm already willing to do the right thing, then why do I need Judge Callahan to tell me what I have to do. And you see, because what happens, Princess, is in a lot of cases the kids suffer because if the judge says, "Okay, you got to pay $80 a week," now we all know $80 a week is not enough to take care of a child, you know. But if in many of the cases, if the judge says you got to pay $80 a week, and the guy says, "Okay, well, I'm gonna just pay the $80 a week, and that's it," and so, we know that $80 a week is not enough to take care of a kid, not even enough to feed him.
Right.
So the kid, you know, and I dare to say that there are a lot of kids who probably would have gotten more, you know, if probably would have gotten more if the baby mama. How do we get that?
Well, the system is in place because there's a large portion of men who will not do it if it's not enforced. And it doesn't matter what race it is or what economic status they've reached. So the system is put in place to help women who are not placed at the same level as men are across the board on so many things here in our country. So we want to leave that there. What we do need to do is re-educate our men and our women about these things, about relationships and what happens when you bring children into the world. A home that doesn't have both parents is a home that's going to hurt even if they both have a lot of money, right? So it's about knowing who you are and what you can do, what changes you can make in your life and your family to change things.
Nikki Totten says, unfortunately, it doesn't count or don't count if you don't go through the system.
Well, see, if you don't go through the system and someone's doing good for a year and they decide not to do it anymore, you don't have any backup to that. The system keeps people honest. You can always do more. And then so the father that says, okay, I'm just going to pay the money and I'm not going to be in the child's life, that's his problem. He's going to have to answer to somebody else at another time for that, because that's just wrong. Now, some women make it hard, yes, but people just need to grow up. The man and the woman, they need to grow up for this child. Okay. Unfortunately, they should have been the adults before they brought this child here. But since they're not, they need to come together collectively to think about this child that they've created and brought into this world and do the right thing. You don't have to like each other. You don't even have to spend time with each other, but just don't belittle or dog the other person, and let the child have relationships with both of their parents. Simple.
Because you have a daughter.
And a son.
You have 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and I'm divorced and I'm single, but I never talked about their dad. If he did something wrong, if he wasn't going to be good, let him show him. I'm not going to tell him that. You know, I grew up, you heard my story the last time we were on. I had a substitute daddy. He was pretty good, but when you're missing your dad, you're missing your dad. When you're missing your mom, you're missing your mom. Let these children have their biological parents as much as they can.
I agree. Nikki Totten says, what?
It helps men as well. If you're a father, not a baby daddy, you will do more on your own. Say if the mother was on child support.
Okay, well, okay, she added something to that.
Yes, she's saying it goes both ways. So it helps the woman, but it also can help the father. There are also some men that are single parent fathers that are doing it, that they're receiving child support.
I know.
And it's a good thing. The system needs to stay where it is, because sometimes we need to help people stay honest. You can always do more.
Right, but I don't think that, unless the person, because what happens is the person, and I don't want to challenge the judicial system or the child support system or whatever you want to call it. But
two couples can write up their own paperwork and not go through the system, and it's still a document that can be enforced.
Yeah, but unfortunately, there's more often than not when a woman goes to court to seek child support, more often than not, it's anger associated. So it's about, I'm gonna get you more so than let's do the right thing for the kid. The kid doesn't matter anymore. You're not going to be wearing your fluffy eyebrow, you're not going to be.
What, can you read that? No
system
doesn't keep people honest.
Right. The person who wants to do the right thing will pay the system. The person who doesn't will child support all their lives. Okay. All right. But see, more often than not, Princess, when a woman goes to court for child support, it may not even be. I would venture to say it's not even about money. It's about punishment. You gonna lose that car because now you'll be paying $300 a week child support. So now you can't afford your car. I mean, not across the board, but there are some more often than not.
You know what? Okay, let's just say it is about that. Let's say it's about $300, and let's say that the daddy's going to pay it, and he's not going to be in the picture. It's still it's an imbalance. So the $300 doesn't pay really for a whole lot for a single child in our country. Okay, so there's rent, there's food, there's doctor's appointments, there's sick nights, there's activities, so that the money doesn't even touch the time, energy that the mother is, or whoever the parent is, the mother or the father who's the primary caretaker, is putting in. That little $300 is nothing, but it will pay something. Okay, so let them have the $300, because likely they could be missing the father and missing any type of extra help as well, or the mother, or any type of help as well.
Yeah, well, $300 a week, not a month. So.
Well, still that's not enough. Think about it. Okay, I live in Maryland. The average rent for a 2-bedroom apartment runs about $1,700 a month. Okay, you have utilities and stuff on top of it. Yeah, but that's average in a decent area. So what about all the other bills? So that $300 a week still isn't hitting on a whole lot.
Yeah, because up here, that same apartment would cost about $2,500 or more. Nikki Totten says nothing is binding. So if you're not ready for the world, and what a child brings,
wrap it up. That's right, Nikki.
I heard that.
Wrap it up.
I heard that. I heard that.
And Nikki, more and more, there's a movement of men have decided to get fixed, as they call it. So, if you don't want to pay for some babies, do what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean,
you still want to do what you do.
Hey, you know what? I'm cool with it. All right, one more break. We'll be right back with more. It's Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills. And it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. It's Ron Kelly Show on Facebook and YouTube. Back in a second with more. Oh, let me take a deep breath. Okay.
The United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend of his own time. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go.
George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, one more thing, everybody. The views and opinions expressed here, I should have did this 40 minutes ago, but the views and opinions expressed here are exclusively those of myself, Princess Love Mills, and R. Kelly Media Enterprises, LLC, and are not those of my advertisers or my support group. So let's get that straight. Okay. All right. Wow, it's 6 minutes before the hour. Did we cover everything? I have to rely on Princess because I don't remember everything.
You're good.
Okay. Yeah. Appreciate you guys for chiming in. See, and these are the things that because we do know our audience, so we try to talk about the things that you guys are concerned with. This is like our third show, I believe it is. So
second.
Mm-hmm. This is only our second show,
right? Because we didn't do Thanksgiving Day, we skipped it.
So how many shows did we do before Thanksgiving?
1.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're like on ground floor. Okay.
Yeah, we are. So guys, if there's something that you want us to talk about, put it in Facebook. Let us know. I'll even go research something. If I don't know what it's about, we'll have some fun.
Yeah. And I don't know if you want to give your email address, Princess, or if we want to set up an email address.
Yeah, I'll set up something and put it there.
Okay, yeah, because we're going to, the ladies, see, I be thinking about y'all all the time and not always carnal either. And so we're going to set up we're going to have a segment of the show where you will be able to, write to Princess, because I'm just not interested. So you can write to Princess, and for the ladies, and the guys too, if you want to chime in.
Yeah.
But for the ladies, primarily, you can write to Princess. We're going to set up a email address, so you'll be able to write to Princess. Now, it's not going to be made public, so you don't have to worry about your anonymity being broken. You don't have to worry about that. So what we're going to do is you write to Princess, and she will answer you on the program. She will answer you on the program. Now, she's not going to say her name or your email address or anything like that. But if you listen to the wrong, once you email Princess, then you got to listen now. Now you got to listen to the show. You got to come back every week and listen to see if Princess will, oh my God, see if Princess will, has answered your question.
Yeah. And just a bit about my background. I'm a reflexologist. I'm a cosmetologist. I have a master's in human services with a cognitive and marriage and family counseling. So relationships are my focus. I am a yogi, a yoga practitioner. I study health and wellness and fitness constantly. I'm into natural remedies over Western medicine any day. So looking at acupuncture, looking at just alternative modalities, using essential oils. So let's have some fun and let's learn some stuff together.
Oh, cool. Well, how do you say namaste? Do they say namaste?
Namaste. That means the light in me bows to the light in you.
Namaste. Lamont Gates says, Lamont Gates is a graduate of William Patterson University. So he loves women who are smart, or who are educated, I should say. I'll put that up in a second. Nikki Totten says nothing. It's about 3
we already read that one. Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Oh, okay. No, okay. Thanks. Oh, women need to keep
condoms on them, like EBD. That's true. Or just, you know what? Just don't do it. They say just do it. Just don't do it.
Get married first, at least. Lamont Gates says, wow, she's a winner. Okay. Thank you, Lamont Gates. She's not just window dressing. She's very intelligent. That helps. But she's very smart. She's she's highly educated and very intelligent. And she's like the opposite of me, because I'm like everywhere, and she's not knocking the pylons over like I am, going down the highway. Okay, everybody, 2 minutes left to the program. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. You have a parting word, Princess Mills, before we break out of here?
You know what? Take care of you first, and then you'll have something to give to everyone else you love.
Okay. And be proud of the booty that you got.
That's right.
You don't need to
work that booty.
Risk your life. You don't need to risk your life, Oh,
thank you, Suzanne.
Yeah. Thank you, Suzanne Newman. Thank you. Oh, yeah, Suzanne Newman had an option. She had a procedure last week. I hope she's,
doing well. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Suzanne Newman. I know you had a procedure, and I hope that everything worked out. I had a procedure too. They were all having procedures, but I hope everything worked out. And I see you're watching this show, so I imagine that you are doing well. Ronald McCready says, I'm enjoying you both. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Ron.
That stuff means a lot. It means a lot when you guys shout out to us. We're, like I said, we're on the ground floor right now. But we're steadily climbing. I'm telling you. I reached out to. I'll give you a little more on it, but I reached out to iHeartRadio, so our podcast can be on iHeartRadio. So, Spotify, I'm waiting for some word back from some of these people. So, we're definitely gonna, and once we do that, we're gonna just explode. All right, everybody, 13 minutes. Thanks, Lamont. Thank you. You just tossed me in there. All right, 6 minutes left, everybody. It's nice to be informed, but it's more important to be 96 seconds. I should have said. And we may not have it all together, but together we can have it all. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Princess.
Thank you.
I think we're done.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.